Okay, chaps. I think this is working. Now, what I'd like to show you is how to draw your own trend line onto a graph. Now, I've got a graph here showing the relationship between light intensity, shown as distance between the plant and lamp, and the rate of photosynthesis in terms of numbers of bubbles of oxygen produced per minute. And I've got something here that you might think it's linear, you might think it's a curve. And Excel will make that decision for you. Now, what's much nicer is if you can make that decision yourself and show it in terms of an independently drawn trend line. I'm going to show you how to do that using Adobe Photoshop. Now, if you click on your graph and then control click it, you have the option to save it as a picture. So I'm going to save my graph here as a picture. I'm going to save it to my desktop. I'm going to call it photosynthesis graph. That's sensible. It's a PNG file. That's totally fine. So let's get that here, and let's control click and open it with Adobe Photoshop. Now, what I want to do is I want to be able to draw myself now a curved line to fit on there. If I click down here, what you normally see, is you normally see this, the pen tool. Sorry. And if you want to draw a straight line, super easy. Click to the start, click to the end. Couldn't be easier. If you want to then turn that line into a nice thick one, control and click, and stroke path. Change it to brush, and it gives you a nice thick brush line. And obviously the brush settings you can change in the brush menu up here. I'm going to go back through my history and delete all those changes, because what's a little bit harder is to put your own curve on. Now, if you select the start, the middle, and the end of your curve, just kind of roughly, what you can then do is on the middle point, if you change your tool over here from the pen tool to the convert point tool, if you click on here, you can pull out, there we go, a little thingy which will allow you to make a curve. You can also click on these points and move them around, up and down, with the arrow keys, until you're happy with where everything is. Now, the very last thing to do again is to control and click on a point, go to stroke path, select brush, and happy Christmas, we've got our nice line drawn on. So that we can then save, and our curve is on there. One thing to say, if you're unhappy with this, let's go back to our convert point tool, and let's take our stroke path off. Maybe we want a thinner line, or maybe we want a dotted line, or whatever it happens to be. We've got our brush tool there. We can change the size in pixels. That's handy. We can also maybe change the colour. Maybe we want a red line on our graph. Okay. And now, when we go back and we control and click on our stroke path and select brush, it gives us a thin red line, which is maybe even a little bit nicer. So chaps, that's pretty much that. This you can then save as on your desktop. We'll just save it as the same name so that it replaces the file. Replace. Go for none so that you get a nice high quality image, and you have a prepared photosynthesis graph ready to go into your lab report with a self-drawn line of best fit.